The problem with Once Human. I've been playing this game a lot. I'm almost level 50 now.
Worried about Once Human seasonal wipes.
Reset to level 1 every 6 weeks?
Seasons
You've got to be
really
kidding.
I'm gonna play this one season.
I'm not gonna stay.
Then I'm done.
Awful decision
Yep.
and ruined the game for people like me. Not recommended.
Yep.
Not recommended.
So, at the end of every season, you lose all of your items. You keep your blueprints. You can't get your
And your
items
house.
back out again. They're gone. And you have a creative mode environment for between seasons. Yeah, no.
I was in another channel.
Yep.
And they uninstalled the game because Once Human being a roguelite MMO was really weird for him. It feels bad that Once Human is going to most likely lose a good amount of people for its weird season-based content.
I think this is completely true.
I think that he speaks for classic MMOers everywhere
Yes.
with that statement.
I feel the same way.
That was Pirate Software, and I think that there's a lot of validity in that, because I think a lot of players that play this game are looking for that free-to-play online social experience that the game's being sold as, which a lot of times is similar.
Well, it's also like if you're grinding a lot in the game and you know that within 6 weeks it's going to get deleted, if you start playing the game 3 weeks into the season, your content is going to get deleted in 3 weeks. It's like you'd have to play every day in order to finish it. It's so stupid.
So the only area that I would kind of disagree with that in is this isn't an MMO. It is trying to do something different. We do want the devs to experiment with different stuff. We just need to make sure that as they experiment with this other stuff, that they don't ruin the game for everyone as they do it. Better start.
I think that the game cannot have seasons and massive resets as frequently as every 6 weeks. That is insane. That's literally half that's half the time of an ARPG season. Like maybe once a year. And like also here's another problem is that like for a new PoE season, think about how much different Metamorphosis League was than Delirium League, or how much different Calandra League was than Ritual League. The games are fundamentally very different. And if you have seasonal resets, you need to also have content that spices things up and changes the entire gameplay all the way through.
Sister here. Okay, Star Run, awesome. So here is the what I was talking about earlier. So the big thing I think you guys should consider is the fact that like I have spent my playstyle is completionist, which I think you have lots of people playing.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I have been streaming this. I've been playing now for 9 hours. Now, granted, 2 of those were in multiplayer recently, but if this is the first area, I still have side quests to do. I still have stuff to complete. It's going to take me another few hours to do this. This for me, just clearing the map is going to be like probably a 60+ hour experience.
I haven't finished the map, but I'm like 80 or 90% done with it. And so this is where I'm at. And this is also after playing to level 50 and doing everything in the closed beta. I'm already at 24 hours.
Giving the majority of your players 6 weeks to complete that is not very tenable.
Yeah.
I would...
Because again, it's people that aren't starting on the first week. Like, you know, like all the people that are like, is it too late for me to start playing WoW? Everybody is going to think it's too late for me to start playing Once Human whenever the season is more than a week into rolling.
Strongly consider, instead of resetting it 6 weeks, coming up with a system that adds. So I think the idea is cool, where every 6 weeks you guys are planning on like changing that, keeping it fresh, new content. I like that idea. But
I think 6 weeks is too frequent. Like every single other seasonal game doesn't function like that, Lost Ark doesn't work that way. New World doesn't work that way. WoW doesn't work that way. Final Fantasy doesn't work that way. OSRS, I'm pretty sure, doesn't work that way. Diablo 4 doesn't work that way. Diablo 3 didn't work that way. PoE doesn't work that way. Last Epoch doesn't work that way. Like, it's too fast. Like, even if you want to go with a seasonal model is 3 to 4 months, not 6 weeks. That's half as much time, if not less than half as much time.
Problem is, in the current status, you're destroying the old stuff and then putting the new stuff in. You need to find a way to keep the old stuff and put the new stuff in.
Yeah.
And that way you're making everyone happy. If you really want some kind of reset at 6 weeks, first of all, I would strongly suggest doubling
that's
that.
Ridiculous. Yeah, exactly.
Make it like 2 month minimum. I'm talking like maybe
like
even 3.
Every single other fucking game. Duh.
3 months. Like give parents, military, office workers, they need more time. And you have to
Exactly, yeah. Like, if you can play the game 3 times a week for 2 hours, that's 6 hours. 6 times 6 is 36. So if you min-max your free time, if you're one of those people, you will barely finish if you start at the beginning. That's crazy.
keep in mind, not everyone is playing this game on release.
Exactly.
The bigger this game gets, the more people are going to discover it over the next few days. Or
they're
over
going to get run out of time.
Do you really think a player is going to want to play this game at week 4?
And I'll give you actually a really good example of this. He's bringing up a really good point. So, like, Rob, the guy that actually runs Ironforge, he was talking to me like, so he was like, yeah, I started playing Diablo 4. He's like, do you play it? And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, right? And he's playing Barbarian. And I'm talking to him about it, and I'm like explaining seasons to him. And like, he's got a kid, he's got a fucking job, like he works out all the time, he's running other shit, and so he's doing this MMA stuff. So he's a really busy dude. And so he's like level 40 or 50 or something like that in Diablo, and he's loving it. He's having a blast. And then I tell him about seasons, and he's like, oh fuck, I've got to do all this over again. And I remember seeing him, he was stressed the fuck out. He was stressed out about this. He's like, fuck, this is it. And like, that's what happens for, what do you call it? That's what happens for like an actual, like, just a guy that's playing the game casually. And that's it. You can't blame him. No, and he's right. The way he feels about it is the way that so many people feel about it.
It's going to be erased in
Eternal
2 weeks?
Realm? Yeah, he was playing on Eternal Realm. That's what he's doing. He didn't know about seasons, like he'd never played a game like that before.
I know that if I entered this game and there was 2 weeks
but like
left
the problem, sorry, I just keep pausing. I'm so sorry. The problem is that the Eternal Land does not work in the same way that a legacy server or like, like Standard League works in PoE, or like Eternal server works in Diablo 4. It's not comparable.
This, I would have zero interest in playing it. If I were to fire this up and be told that honestly,
I have to do all
let me be real about this.
It's crazy.
Just looking at this with 6 weeks makes me want to be like, I don't know.
And he plays video games for a living.
And I play video games for a living.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. Yeah, exactly.
The 2 big things I would consider is, first of all, fundamentally understanding that people are going to be picking up your game within the middle, and you don't want to punish them by not having enough time. And on top of that, there is definitely something to be said for when I complete these areas, when I complete this entire map, if that just gets taken away completely.
Well, this is exactly what fucking happened with Diablo 4. Like, I think that the Once Human devs, if they watch this video, guys, take a look at what happened with Diablo 4. Making people have to re-get every shrine, re-get every waypoint, do every single fucking side quest to get your renown up. Players hated that. Everybody hated that. And Blizzard tried to hold it and make you do it again in Season 1. Everybody hated it. And if they did it again, I think everybody would have quit the game. I quit because of that? Yeah, exactly. It's tedious bullshit. And I think that, like, exploring the map and doing all the side quests is great. Once. And that's it.
Then that reduces the personal accomplishment that I feel. If I know that everything I do here is going to be erased in 6 weeks,
You're building
that
a castle
makes
on
me want
sand.
to do it less.
Absolutely.
And I hate that feeling, and I know other people
Waste
are
so
feeling
much
it
ammo
too.
there.
So, again, I would strongly recommend, with whatever system you use, to be additive, not removing.
Yeah.
Puffin says, tell that to Destiny. Yeah, Destiny? You're talking about the game where you can't go back and play stuff you paid for already? That Destiny?
I'll get comments about why
What?
a person quit the game. And the number one comment, it is always sunsetting.
Yeah, it's one of the worst systems ever made that's public
That's so stupid. I had no idea about that.
and private, or public and popular. So if you're using that as like, oh, look, it's fine. Yeah, no. That's one of the worst possible ways they can do it. And people have left that game because of that. So, no. Don't ever use them as an example of how to do things properly, in that regard at least. Because no, that was and is still to this day a huge problem. Tell that to PoE. Okay, what Path of Exile?
PoE. That's what a fuck. I hope Co banned him. That person deserved to get banned. Number one, PoE seasons are over twice as long. Number two, each season mechanic completely changes the way the game is played. Number three, there's a legacy server or standard server where everybody can play that functions the exact same as one of the, as one of the league servers. And the league mechanics are then ported over to the standard server after the league is over. Like they go, there's actually even a term for it. It's called the league going core. Right? Like Metamorphosis went core. Synthesis did not.
Doing does not really account for what we're doing here, because Path of Exile is a different kind of game that caters to different types of people. It does not elicit the same things and the same
It's different in every single fucking way. Like maybe Co hasn't played as much PoE as I have. That fucking idiot fucking ban him. So dumb.
Gameplay feelings from its players. It's not,
base
it's not
building
like
in
so
PoE?
saying, oh, Path of Exile does it,
Ooh,
so it's
you
fine
weren't here
here.
yesterday.
That does not fly. And for the record, the fact that you have to do the reset content every single time that PoE resets is one of the most contested things in that game. So pointing to that game and being like, it's okay, PoE does it, when that is one of the most criticized things in that game, is not really the best thing to do. When these guys do their 6-week reset, they're not just recycling the map, which is what PoE does. They're not just telling you need to repeat everything with new mechanics. The idea behind Once Human is once this season is done, the new season, from what I understand, is new content with a new story on a new map.
Bullshit. You can remake the game in 6 months. Bullshit. No. That's not going to happen. Every 6 weeks? Yeah. No. What are we even talking about? Everybody knows that's not going to happen.
So that is nothing like PoE. At all. Actually. Like, it's a completely different thing. So, but again, that raises so many questions that we don't have answers to. And I know you're already...
I can see it, actually. I can't. You want to know how I can't see it? I'll tell you. It's really simple. The closed beta and the live game are pretty much the same game. So if you think that the game 6 months ago that you played, like, when did I first play Once Human? Four days ago, 9 days ago, 8 days ago, 6 months ago. So this is when I first started playing the game. It was 6 months ago. So 6 months ago, the game came out. It was the exact same map. It was the exact same story. It was the same everything. Everything was the fucking same, minus like some different lighting, etc. And some of the textures admittedly are better. So no, I'm not going to think that if you could not innovate and completely change, like, we've only tested one version of this game. So, oh yeah, it took you over 6 months to beta test and create this one version of the game, but you're going to be able to, like, recreate a new version of the game every 6 weeks after, like, what? That's insane. How could anybody believe that? That's crazy.
I'm sure in chat thinking of 1,000 questions you have when I say that.
Yes.
I am too.
Is it even viable for them to keep creating enough new content every 6 weeks? Like what happens once they run out?
And here's another thing
He's
to consider.
completely right.
They're wanting to like create new scenarios every 6 weeks.
No.
They've been working on this one for years. And it's still
yes,
missing
fucking
animations.
exactly.
The main character didn't even get voiced. It's
Yep.
still super buggy. It's laggy. A lot of side quests have zero voicing. The animations are buggy.
True.
The voice and lines don't line up.
He's right about everything.
So like, I have to say that there's no
there is no proven success record with that. And in fact, there is only the opposite.
absolutely no question that we have to be like, what is going to be the quality?
It's easy. There's 3 continents in the game. They'll be in rotation. So there's 3 continents in the game. And have we ever played the other 2 continents? No, we haven't. So let's use a little bit of thinking here. So the new continent is going to be totally different, the same level of quality, and also a totally new experience, even though no one has ever seen or beta tested either of those other 2 continents. Uh-huh. Right.
Of this super fast content that you're planning on putting out. So no, anyway, sorry, not to go on a tangent there, but yeah, now I do want to be clear here. I do want to be clear. All the information I'm working off right now is from the official FAQ that we read on stream earlier. And it is important to mention that not everything is getting deleted. Starcrom, Christian, Mitsuko Marks, Stellar, Sproutlets, gear, blueprints, blueprint fragments, weapon accessories, mods, furniture formulas, cosmetics, actions, name cards, character customization data, building blueprints, main story, side story, and journey progress, and all of your friends. That is what will get moved to the new season. What's not going to get moved to the new season, though, is every bit of work that I did on this map to get all those nice little purple boxes into these nice little green check marks. All of that will be removed, which means the giant list of stuff I did and spent the last 50 plus hours doing is going to disappear.
Get deleted. Yeah, exactly.
And that's not a good feeling. Now, you do have Eternal Land. That's good.
But it's like a private server. It's different.
But it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not.
So, there's a whole lot that comes from like removing stuff. There's a reason, for instance, that all MMOs just keep adding on and they don't remove areas unless they absolutely have to for a lore reason or something. Like there's a reason that in the past this has been done in a much more kind of additive format because that's the way that I think works the best for these types of games. So anyway, that's my rant, and I will again strongly suggest that you guys rethink this plan in its current format.
They've got to completely rethink it. The entire idea of seasons and resets, everyone that I know who plays this game and takes it seriously thinks the exact same thing I think. I don't know a single person that's seen this and been like, this looks good. This is great. Fucking hate seasons. I don't think seasons are bad. I just don't think this game is conducive to seasons. Aren't they very transparent about this? And then is it not up to you to get invested in this free-to-play game? Of course, right? But I'm giving my feedback. Yeah, this is my feedback for what their decisions are. Like, that's all. Obviously, like, I'm going to keep playing the game and finish this season out because I didn't finish all the content yet. But other than that, I'm probably just going to move on and do something else. Like, for example, here's the way I feel about it. I feel a lot better about investing time into First Descendant because that time isn't going to get deleted by a seasonal update. Like, yeah, they'll add in new descendants, and those new descendants will probably power creep the old ones. Like, that probably will happen just the same as, like, any character-made game. That's just the way it is. However, if I invest into getting my Ajax to having all of his prestige points, that is an advantage that I can take forward indefinitely. And I can play the new content regularly. Things are everybody saying, yeah, and that's the way I said content's done right. So our blueprints and recipes won't stay on Once Human? They will. You basically have to refarm copper, iron, fucking bronze, the aluminum tungsten. You've got to redo all of that. So it's like you basically start at level. I'd quit. I mean, like, I might play a little bit today and like just get into it. What happened to Grand Blue Fantasy? I finished everything. Yeah, I finished everything in Grand Blue Fantasy. What if they refunded 50% of your mats? At a certain point, you have to ask yourself the question, then why even do it at all? Like, what is the season really going to do? You did Lucilius 0? No, I did Lucilius Base. I know they added a couple of new things. I just haven't done them because I haven't played the game. But I killed Lucilius. The First Descendant's very good. Yeah, I can see yearly wipes. I don't think that they should do that. I think they should do a, like, I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to think about, like, what can even... I actually don't know. I feel like they need to just sit down and brainstorm about this. Seasons are currently an excuse to sell a battle pass. And, like, that's the problem, right? Is I think that a lot of games are built around... They're built around its the game is built around its monetization. And I think this is a huge issue for a lot of games. So, like, Once Human, this game, like, look how healthy this game is. This is one of the most healthy graphs that I've ever seen for a game. It's hitting, like, 200k people, like, right now, 187 for this day. This is so good. And this is the end of week 2, by the way. Yeah, this isn't like day 3 of the game. It's week 2. It's insane. Yeah, it's a great game in a lot of ways. I just think they need to add in more ways for it to be fun. And add in new content. And don't just, like, fucking reset people's progress. Because I feel the exact same way Code does. I have over 150 hours in 2 weeks. I don't want the reset. Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, Cody, like, I joined, like, your Hive and, like, all that shit. And, like, yeah, you guys have been cooking, man. Pirate Software had a talk with the devs. Judging by a clip used, this tweet's from 12th of July. Yeah, he talked with them. Also, they reached out to me as well. I haven't really talked about that, but they did. And I've actually been compiling some feedback and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, the developers, here's the thing, is the developers of this game, I am really, really, like, positive about Once Human. The reason why I'm really positive about it is because the developers are proactive with seeking solutions to problems. The game is not pay to win. And it plays well and it's fun. That's the reason. Yeah, they care. Like, I'm very positive about this game. We always talk about bad monetization. We love to talk about bad monetization. But you know what? Once Human has good monetization. And is it a free game? I don't even know if it is. But I think it is. Is it a Chinese game? Yeah, I think one of the developers, it's like NetEase or something like that, is a developer or the publisher of the game. Yeah, it's a free-to-play game. It's incredible. So I'll link you guys Ko's video again. I completely agree with everything he said.